is for? A for is a some looping kind of thing, looping statement, which will loop from each and every element. Okay, for each. Okay, that meaning of this for each is for each will run the loop on this array ARR for each of the element. Okay. Sorry, yeah. So each of the element, and whenever it is running on each of the element, it will call which function?
My function.
My function. So my function will be called, and my function, did I say my function will get the data toys, cars like this anywhere? No. But what's happening here? My function is getting the data automatically from for each. Okay, let me
Yes, got it.
show you internally what is happening. There are elements. There are elements in the JavaScript. Now there is for each method. For each method. This for each method, whenever I am running on any of the array, what will do? Add, put, like this we have seen the array methods. So what they do? They add the elements, they set the elements. So like this. So the for each method will iterate. It only work for the for each method is it iterate through the elements one by one. Okay, it iterates through the elements one by one. Now while iterating, okay, while iterating, what is happening? Let's see. First iteration, where the first iteration will start for the for each? From the toys, no? From the toys. So it will take toys. The nature of the for each is the nature of the for each is whenever we pass any function as the input now, it will run that function, it will call that function from this internally from the for each it will call the another function whichever I pass. Which function I am passing here? What is the name of that
Toys.
function? My function. No, no.
Acha.
Toys is a element. Toys is the
Element.
data. My function is the another function which is being called from the for each. Now the for each method internally will take care of passing the toys to my function. This my function also knows. See, my function also knows. Okay, I have been called as a callback function. Callback function means whenever a function is called, in that function, the another function is called. Okay, are you getting my point here?
Yes, yes.
Array is a method on that for each method is called. For each is a standard method for the arrays. Then whenever the for each method is called, the for each method we have given my function as a parameter. The function itself we are passing as a parameter for the for each function. So my function nature what it is now, it's a callback function. Means whenever a for each is called, for each will take an element and it will pass it to the my function, because the y function is called internally from for each. Okay, though
For each
so
only it will take a function on for each.
yeah, it takes callback functions. Other means functions. Okay, like there are many ways to write a function. So I have written in a more clear way. I can write different types of functions, right? Function expressions, anonymous functions, arrow functions. Yes or no?
Yeah.
So we can write anything there. Is this okay now?
Yes, sir.
Hmm. Hmm. Now let's see. Okay, now let's see. Now let's see the another example. See, this is the real-time example where a function is called. Okay, a function is called from another function. By this, what is happening? By this, what is happening? Even though my function is written here or there, on the top or here, we can call it in the for each, because this is a traditional way of writing a function. So this function is known everywhere. This concept we know now, scopes and the other scope, like what we see, availability of the function everywhere, hosting. These all you remember variable hosting. So function wherever we have written the function, it will be available everywhere. So before writing the function only, I am calling the function here. There is no issue here. Now, now this is the real-time example of callback function. Means a function is passed as a parameter to the other function. Now let us go in more deep now. Okay, write two other functions. Okay, two other functions.
Mm. With
Uh,
the same naming or shall I name another?
let's say uh, myAdd, myDisplay. Oh, sorry, yeah, add is one function, or myAdd is one function. Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm. Then in the the other function is myDisplay. Okay. Hmm. Now, uh, give it a in my add give some integers. I mean, give some two variables input.
Inside or
No,
parameter?
so as a parameter.
Mm. Sorry. We have to
No,
use let, right?
no need of let also here.
Huh.
Num one, num
Direct.
two. Yeah, num one, num two.
Pass the values. Number,
Hmm.
number.
Num1, num2, then add it and return the num1, num2. Num1 plus num2. Hmm.
Mm.
Hmm. Okay, console dot return. Okay, okay. Return the result, not print the result. Just I want to return it from the my add. Okay, is this clear? Now right here in the my display, just to say our data means return the some whatever data here. My display will collect some input,
Oh, in the parameter. Okay.
yeah, as a parameter, and
Or
it will print here console.log.
I need to return this one, this parameter.
No, 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 just print it now here, only printing.
I mean, should I pass this one? I'm asking.
Yes, yes, you have to print the R data here. The whatever the data we collected, that you have to print it. Now, what's happening in these two functions? Can someone explain? Like just a normal thing here. No, no, don't consider this my function. We'll come to that later. Hmm.
Mm.
Function myAdd. What it will do? It will take two parameters and return the data. Okay. Function myDisplay. What it will take some data and print it. The only thing in the function myDisplay will do is take the data and print the data. Okay. Now in the 17th line, you write some part of code where a myAdd is called, and the data whatever you are getting as a result now, that return again you have to call myDisplay and print it. How you will write the statements here? Add 5 plus 6 and print it. That's the requirement now by using these functions.
This function. Okay.
Hmm.
Mm. Oh,
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
have to use this function and print this result. Huh?
Yes. Chandana, are you there?
Yes.
Hmm. So we are calling this one function and passing some data. Okay. Pass the data. 5 comma 6, let's say 5
5
comma,
comma.
yeah. Okay. Now, what my ad will do? Will it print the result? No. What it will
It
do? It
returns
will
the
It will
it
return the
returns the
result.
return the value. You have to collect it somewhere, na?
yes
So collect it somewhere. How you will collect the returned data from a method?
display.
No, no, no. First, no, no. Just consider first. See, here we are getting the data. Here we are
Hmm.
getting the data. The data here, how you will collect here? You are calling the method.
Hmm.
myAdd method you are calling, but the returned data you are not collecting anywhere here. That is what I am telling. First, you collect the returned data from myAdd.
Yeah.
In the 17th line, starting
I need
equal.
to
Huh?
what is
Probably, see, listen, what I'm telling is function is called in a correct way. That's okay. That function is returning some data. Na? How you will collect the data returned from a function generally?
Giving any variable name.
Huh. So, where,
yeah.
where? Okay,
Oh,
data or
but
something, yeah,
did it.
equal to, yeah, myAdd. This is how you'll collect the data which is being written from any function. Now don't
Console.
print that, don't write console.log. We have myDisplay function now. That myDisplay function, if I pass the data, it will print now. The duty of the myDisplay is to print whatever we
Yes.
pass. So
Yes.
we'll do that one now.
Data also goes.
Do it.
Again, I have to take another.
No need of variable
No,
now,
no.
because no, no, wait, Raghu. So,
How it will.
yeah, Raghu, why we don't need a but variable now here?
Directly
Okay,
we can take the R data equal to data now. No need of variable.
our data equal
Another
to data.
variable. Because already we have taken here a function, right? R data.
Hmm?
Then
No, see here
We are
what?
passing our data inside this my display, but how does
Hmm.
we need to link this my display function to my add function to return the result 10 plus
Huh.
20? In that case, in our earlier lecture, as per earlier
R
lecture,
data.
we have to take one return type like var or let and
Yes, you are breaking. Your
display,
voice is
and we can do
breaking.
that.
Huh. So, yeah, my network issue, I think. See, you collected the data, na? You collected the data, na? Right here, my display, my display, my display.
Yes. Okay.
In the bracket, pass the collected data from the first method. Data,
Yeah.
bracket,
Mhm.
semicolon. This is what you mean, right?
Yes. Yes. Correct.
Yeah. So,
But
but
here we are passing in R data no, in function. How can it
uh,
take the data into my display?
Raghu, there is a difference between an argument and a parameter. Here, this is a parameter. Here, whatever you are passing is the argument.
Yeah.
Argument and parameter names can be anything. The only thing the system will consider is what the value is getting here. Suppose data for 10 plus
Function.
20, 30 is there, na? It won't pass as a data. It will pass the 30 to the R data. Are you getting my point?
Okay. It
The
means like
names you will
function name
not
should
consider.
be
See, the data, R data is a like a parameter. Okay, it's a parameter. With that name of the parameter, I am calculating something, I am printing something here. But here to pass, here we are calling another function, taking some data in one variable, and that variable I am passing. Okay?
Okay, okay. Sorry,
Here
I'm
the
not seeing this 17th line.
name doesn't matter here. The value what
Yeah,
the data consists, that will be passed. Uh,
yeah,
okay?
got it.
These all are called as call by values. We are not calling like call by reference. Reference in the sense direct pointers. That C language, if you are from C language or Java, then you'll get confused with this concept. Okay, this is in JavaScript. We only take mostly the call by value, means the value whatever the data is there na, that value will be given to the my display, not the data variable. Okay, in the 16th line click enter, give some spaces. uh, Now what we are doing, what we are doing again, back to our example, we have two functions. One function is to add, one function is to display. So the function add, for the function we have passed two data. Okay, to parameters we have, two arguments we have given. So then whatever the data it is returning, I have collected in one variable. That collected data I am giving again to the another function called myDisplay, where the myDisplay function will print the console.log or data. Is that okay till now for everyone? Prolika, is that okay for you?
Yeah,
Neha?
yeah, it's clear.
Your
Can
voice,
also pass the myAdd function in myDisplay.
myAdd function in? No, no.
Directly
myDisplay.
instead of taking another
Without
variable like where
instead
data
of taking data,
ID.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, we can do that one.
we can
myAdd.
also pass myAdd.
Yes, yes, that also we can do it. Okay, that also we can do. Okay, myAdd. It will calculate some data and it will print it. But here this is not like console.log. Okay, so you'll get confused. So what Neha is telling is, so I'll come to that point. Just comment the above lines of code from seventh to above, that my function or all the remaining thing. Select the lines from
Here,
seventh to
these
above.
two functions.
No, no, seventh to above, the all seventh to above. Control forward slash. Hmm. Now save it and run this one now. Run it. Hello.
We can see the result here.
Yes, I can see the result. Okay. In the 22 line, do as Neha said. Neha, can you say what you want to display and what you want to write?
myDisplay,
Okay, my display,
myAdd.
my ad. My ad, write my ad. Okay, and pass two values. Pass two values. Generally, how you call my ad? Pass two values.
So inside this, I need to pass two values.
Yeah, yeah, my ad. My ad you are calling, na? My ad needs some data. Na? There
Okay.
only. See, my display, my ad, and
Mhm.
open the bracket and pass some 15, 16. Yeah. Now, this is what Neha wants to write, where my display function is taking my ad as a input. Okay. So let's see how it runs. Execute.
Shall I comment this one?
No, no,
Meanwhile.
no. Let it be. Let it be.
Mm.
Okay. Okay. 15. So this is like single line of code. Instead of writing two lines, she has written single line of code where a myAdd will be called first, okay, then whatever the data it is returning, na, that returned data will be passed to which one, no, which one, myDisplay. So the myDisplay function will display the data. Is that okay? But it is confusingly calling a function inside a function, but it's okay, we can call it. Is that okay for everyone? Chandana, is this okay?
Yes.
Is Varshit here? Yeah.
Yeah, man, it is clear.
Now, but here what's happening is we are calling two functions. First we are calling myAdd, then you are calling, okay, then you are calling myDisplay, okay, in single line of code. Here also the same thing. We are calling myAdd, then myDisplay. Instead of writing this one, there is something called as a callback. Okay, callback. Let us understand the callback. But before that, let us write in one another way. Take this myDisplay, okay, and write it between 11th and 12th line. And pass the result to that one. I can call like this also, no? First, so instead of calling this 3, okay, instead of calling this 3, comment this one. Instead of calling this 3, what I can do now? I can only call myAdd. MyAdd will calculate the data, and then from this function we call another function. This concept you already know now. Function 1 calling function 2, function 3, this already you know. So same like that. MyAdd is one function that I am calling. From that function, what I am doing now? Calling to another function. Is this okay? Come on. Come out of the mute. Okay. Now in the 19th line,
Yes,
write
man.
myAdd, some call, give some parameters to that. Okay. Clear now? So this is one approach. Now there is another approach. Okay, there is another approach called callbacks. Okay, now there is another approach called callbacks. In the 25th line, okay, in the 25th line, copy these two functions. Okay, copy these two functions and paste it here. Just name it as 1 1 to avoid naming conventions.
Yep.
Okay. Now there are two functions. The myAdd function give another parameter. Third parameter. Say my CL fun means my callback function, CLBK function, just for our convention. For our convention, my CLBK function, FUN. Okay. Now here call my CLBK function instead of 28. Instead of telling the myDisplay, you call this function, my callback function. Okay, my callback function result. Okay. Now this all okay, let it be as it is. So in the myAdd, in the third parameter, see that now the parameter third parameter also needed na? So here while calling the myAdd, in the third parameter you pass myDisplay1. Just myDisplay1. Don't give any parameter. Just pass it as a variable. That's it. Okay. Control S. Now what we are doing here? We have two functions. Okay. We have two functions. Okay. Now this third function is there. No? This third parameter. That third parameter is nothing but myDisplay1 only. No? This is nothing but myDisplay1. So I can pass myDisplay1 or any function I can pass it as a parameter. No? There is no need, no rule that I can pass only myDisplay1. Yes or no? Suppose write myDisplay2 function here, right after 34 function myDisplay2. In the console.log, just add some, this is the data, this is the result, like that. Some add some, or this is myDisplay2, whatever.
Okay.
Okay. So now you can give it here myAdd 2, 3 or some other values and pass the myDisplay2 instead of myDisplay1.
myDisplay2.
myDisplay2. Okay. Now here let's print some result also here. Comma here.
Yeah.
Comma or data. Control S. Now observe very clearly. In the myAdd function, if you go myAdd, did I say only call myDisplay1 or myDisplay2? No. Come out of the mute. This is very important. Okay. So in the myAdd function, there is no calling of myDisplay1 or myDisplay2. So you don't know whether you are calling myDisplay1 or myDisplay2. What it knows, just go up. Just go up here. Just go up. So, but here in this example, it knows in the myAdd function, definitely there should be a call to myDisplay. Okay. So once the myAdd is calculation is done, it will call myDisplay and print the result. So by this approach, we have only chance of calling myDisplay. Okay, myDisplay only from the myAdd. Means one function can call the particular function only, myDisplay or whatever I have whatever I write here, that only I can call. But with the help of callbacks, go to the below myAdd. Okay, myAdd1. We can pass any function. That function will be called here. There is no fixed that only myAdd will be called, myDisplay1 is called, myDisplay2 is called. Whatever the function you will pass as a parameter here, that function will be called now. So with this, one myAdd function can call for one time myDisplay, for other time myDisplay2, for another time you can call any another function. So this is the help of callback. The only thing which we are doing here is passing function as a parameter. Okay, function as an argument, or so we are passing and it is correcting as a parameter, and that function itself is called here. What is meaning of in this line? Suppose I have passed here my callback 1, sorry, my display 1. So here in the 28th line, what is the meaning of my callback function? It is nothing but my display 1 only now. Are you getting my point?
Can you repeat on?
Yeah. So now before example, from the myAdd, we called myDisplay one. Yes or no? Before the above example. Just to go up. From the myAdd function, we have two functions. So what I have done is I called myAdd with two inputs. It calculated the result and called the another function called myDisplay. Okay. Suppose there is something called as myDisplay2. Okay. Can I change immediately here? Go and here. Can I change myDisplay2 instead of myDisplay1? So I have to what I have to do for that? I have to go to this function and change the. I have to go to the function and change the myDisplay1 to myDisplay2. So every time I want to call different function from the myAdd, I have to go to the function code and change it. Yes or no?
Yes.
Only one fixed function I can call. To avoid this one, what I have done is go to the below example, myAdd one. So I made it dynamic. Okay. num1, num2, as we pass num1, num2, along with the num1, num2, I will pass another function also. I say, hey, myAdd1, take a function and you name it as my callback function, and whichever function I pass for you, that function only you run it. Okay. I can pass myDisplay1, myDisplay2. I can pass any other functions. So n number of functions I can pass to you. Your only duty is rename that function to my callback function and run it. Did you get this point now? So it became more dynamic. Can you come down to 39th or 30? See here what I am doing. I am calling myAdd1 only. myAdd1. Okay, let's say myAdd1. Sorry, here myAdd1. Okay, here also myAdd1. What I am doing here? What I am doing here? myAdd1 I am calling. For that, which function I am passing as a third parameter, third argument, let's say myDisplay1 means at this point of time, what happens? myAdd1 will calculate 2 and 3 and call which function?
myDisplay1.
myDisplay1. Now, myAdd1, I have written two functions. Sorry, I have written two parameters. Normally, in the third parameter, for the third parameter, I have written myDisplay2. Okay. So when this statement is executed, 4 and 5 are added. Then myAdd1 function, what it will be calling? Come
Our
on.
data.
Why our data? Where is our data? Listen to the see the 41st line. In the 41st line, what happening is we are calling myAdd1. Okay, we are calling myAdd1. myAdd1. That myAdd1 will take three parameters. One is number one is number two, the other one is my callback function. Okay. So for that my callback function, what I am doing here, passing the myDisplay2. Now number one, number two added, and whatever the function I am passing now, that function with a different name I am calling my callback function and passing the returned data. So one function, one function is calling two different other functions at runtime based on the 41 and 40 lines. Raghu, Jitendra, Bhargav, Neha, Varshit. If any doubt, let me know. Prolika, is it okay for you?
It's clear for me, yes.
Okay. Now I execute. See, 2 and 3 added, you got 5. Okay. Then same function I am calling, but the result is different because the third parameter, the callback function, is different. What is now callback function? You say that I am passing one function to you. Whenever you complete the execution, you call that function. That's it. Is that okay?
What is 28th line doing?
28th line. That is the one which we are discussing. This is the one parameter, okay? That parameter is a function now. See what number one will doing? What number one is doing? Number one is collecting. Suppose I call like this, my add, okay, 2, comma 3. What number one will collect? Come on, Neha. What number one will collect?
2,
What number two will collect?
3.
What I am passing third one now? My display one
Passing
function.
the
I am not passing a value now. What I am passing now?
function.
Function. So what this third my callback function variable will collect now? Come on. This one. Yes or
Your
no?
voice is breaking.
The voice is struck.
Okay.
It's breaking.
Okay. What this one is doing now?
Now your voice is breaking. Anu.
Okay. Just give me a minute. Is it okay now?
Yes, Anu.
So what this third parameter is taking? Come on.
Function.
Function. So what is this one now? When I run this one, what is this my callback function? What my callback function is holding?
My display 1 or my display 2?
Based on the call. In the 41, in the 40 line, if I call, the my callback function will hold the third parameter, which is the my display one. So 28th line meaning is not my display, my callback function. We have to imagine that, okay, the 28th line is calling which one now? My display one. Now when I call the 41 line, so my callback function, what it will do now? It will call which one now? One. The third parameter, what it is?
Display 2.
Yes. Based on your input, the third input, the nature of this my callback function will be changing. Okay. This is simply, you have to imagine that my, one second. Just to give me a minute. Where my function, my callback function is equal to my my display one.